And that really worked out today.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, everybody in YouTube. I forgot I'd turned the sound off. You had no sound. Thank you for letting me know.
Yes, CNXM does look kind of interesting. It's finishing pretty strong into the close here. It's really come off hard off a big bottom.
CNXM?
CNXM.
Yeah, got it.
Midstream. Yeah. Let's just take a boom here. Yeah, it's really got taken to the woodshed yesterday.
Yeah, I see that. Look at that
Bit
big
of a
drop.
bounce back here today.
A big drop on the daily.
It's the only thing that makes me kind of nervous. That would make me nervous about swinging this thing because it's really has taken a bit of a beating here.
Brian's working his afternoon job in the coffee shop. Sounds like you're right in the kitchen.
Consulting.
Yeah. But your mic sounds good. It's not cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's I'm just using my laptop. Actually, I'm using my workbook and just running everything off that. So, let's see, what have we got here? Yeah, well, APY for the swing. We'll take a look at that one. Got a nice trade during the day on LABU. Picked it up once and stopped out of it, and then picked it up again. It sold off more and managed to ride it up over 41 before I got stopped out. Wow, the APY looks interesting. It's definitely breaking out. You've got a gap to fill here at 15. What's it looking like on a? So I always like to look at the 5 minute to see how it's trading into the latter half of the day here. It's been nice and strong.
That's a big gap to fill all the way up. Yeah, I said 15, 18. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's just I like to look at thin viz too, just to see what how many shares we've got. 62 million. It's had a bunch of downgrades in early March here. No, it's outperform to peer perform. Yeah, everything, they've downgraded everything from buy to neutral here.
So guys, if you're interested in swing trading, pay close attention. You're hearing the thought process live as Brian thinks through whether APY is a trade he wants to take.
It could be it might be an interesting trade. I wouldn't, because it's, I would have liked to have caught it a little earlier. There's always a chance that it's going to come back here, and it's always a chance. Let's just go back to the. Let's go back to the four. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart.
4 hour. I'll look at an hourly chart here.
Yeah, I kind of like APY. I'd take a small number of shares on a swing on that.
Well, you heard that? Market. It'll be in Brian's newsletter.
Yeah, market.
We'll see how it does.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, the only problem is it could pull back to 10, but I do like the way it's following through here on that. It's breaking out, and let's just see. Looking at a 4-hour chart. Yeah, definitely. Definitely a lot of the technicals are looking good. We've had good volume today.
Oh.
What is this? It's basic materials, oil and gas equipment services. Yeah, all these oil and gas stocks, even though oil is going down, they're all, there's, Andrew was talking about rotation, about how, funds move money around and investors move money around, and, tech and healthcare have been pretty strong, and now they're kind of weak, and now we're getting movement into other sectors.
Just going to take a partial. While you've been doing that, I'm scalping AMD here, and being that it's bouncing around, I'm going to take a 10-cent partial here. I got in at 56.05. Just took a partial. I only got 9 cents, 55.96. Let's hope it breaks here. This is,
Yep.
so let me show you guys on the screen. AMD. So AMD, I was busy watching it bounce. If you look at a 1 minute chart, you can sort of see these little bounces off the moving average. So I took it short up here off of this moving average. I only got to fill a couple cents lower. And I took a partial
Nice.
right down here. And we'll
So
see.
the only thing I'd be concerned about swinging target is it's kind of at a area of prior resistance. It's kind of where it peaked about a week and a half ago. So we're right back up there again. High on April 17th was 114. And we're just below that. 114. Yeah, and it rejected from there, so I'd be waiting for some kind of indication as to where it's going to go. But I don't know that it's a swing.
Yeah, I see target with that area of resistance where it hit here on the 17th of April. So yeah, you got to be careful. It's right below that. I'd actually marked that as a daily level on my chart. So
yeah, it's funny. There's nothing. FinViz will give you. They'll also give you some stuff on social media like stock twits. So people are posting on stock twits about a stock, on the FinViz page, it'll show you what people are saying about APLY. And it just gives you an indication of whether people are talking about it or not. And It's funny, there's absolutely nothing there that, so nobody's talking about APY.
you can start the conversation, Brian. Go stock twit it.
I could start it right now.
Do pull the citron. Now that you've got your position, you can start. You can start.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. It's funny. It doesn't even come up on when I type APY and stock twits. It doesn't come up. It's kind
But
of
you're right
strange.
at the bottom of FinViz, normally right on the page there, it just automatically sort of links you to the thread for that, whatever ticker you've put in, right?
Yep.
Here we go. AMD is dropping for me. Finally broke through that 55.95. What have we got? 18 minutes. I'm going to take a little more off right here. Take note for my journal. Ugh, this thing is just bouncy. All right. AMD is not really a great technical trade. It's really just a momentum-based scalp here. I was just playing these levels. I may get move lower on it. We'll see. It's got room. If it can break through here, it's got room down to about 55.40. If it really feels like dropping, but we'll see. It's not typically what AMD does into the close. It doesn't go on big runs, especially runs lower. At least not recently.
They're reporting after hours, so you may have some positioning going on too.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So that may be good. I'm certainly not planning on holding it past the close, but because I just don't know. I don't know what is AMD's. What are their numbers likely to look like? Probably not bad. Yeah. Everyone else seems to be reporting okay, but like I don't want to take that risk.
Yeah, I think they'll be like everything else. They'll probably put up some decent numbers. I would think AMD, because they've been kind of killing it with their new chips.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I think, interesting. I wonder, wasn't it, I mean, you had to wait a long time for your PC. Was that just a delivery issue, or was that, because I thought IBM was saying PC sales were down.
I think it was just a delivery issue, right? With all the supply chains interrupted,
Yeah.
they just took a while for it. I actually ended up getting it earlier than they had projected, though. I got it a week before their original projections. It still took 3 weeks, but you know, I did get it early, which surprised me.
So we had Starbucks is up, at least right now. Google is down. AMD is down a little, I guess, eh?
Yeah, AMD is just down 60 cents or so, 1%. It's really bouncing around.
I mean, it's funny. It's just funny to me. All these airlines are trading up.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine a worse environment for the airlines right now. And not just now.
Well, Sunkite on YouTube is telling me that AMD will puke. I hope he's right. He's right.
He's expecting
or
some,
she.
He's expecting some puking action today, is he?
Some puking action, yeah. Well, as long as it's by the stock and not me, then that's okay.
Yeah. It's not too bad. Does have that downward trajectory.
So. I mean, it looks like it, right? It looks like it wants to sort of leak off here. It's looking good. It got down almost to 55.85, and I thought it was going to go, but then it pulled back again. So let's see if we can... As long as it doesn't stop me out before I want it to.
Where's your entry? Or what was your entry?
56.05.
Okay.
So we'll see what it can do. What else we got going on here? Boeing sort of chopping around here. I like that the SPY is broken through yesterday's close. So the SPY overall has gone red to green, green to red, I should say. So it's now red on the day. We'll see what happens. Here we go. AMD's down at...
I would expect that, yeah. Expect to get some selling here.
Yeah.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. I'm going to take just a little bit off if I see any sort of pullback here. No, it's still going, so I'm going to wait. Holding. Hold. Hold. There we go.
What have we got here?
So that's one thing that
to the close,
I will typically do, guys, is I will look at an area that I want to take a partial, and I like to usually give it a little bit of time to see, because sometimes if it pulls through the area that I want to take a partial and keeps going, like why would I partial, right? I'll just wait. So right now that area is 55.80. So notice it pulled down and it's pulling back up here to 55.80. So if it goes up through it, I will take my partial. And frankly, it's just as if I had taken it originally, right? I didn't lose anything. But the opportunity I have is to hold that for longer, because if this thing suddenly drops a lot, you know, I can get better on that partial. So by waiting, I still got my partial. I still haven't taken it, and I can hopefully better it by, you know, more. And then what I do is I'll move that level down. And then, so if this thing gets below 55.70, I'll sort of move my partial to the 55.70 level and sort of keep doing that. It allows me to hold longer, and I figure it doesn't cost me anything. I mean, there's a risk of a penny or two, I suppose, if it goes up through 55.80 fast, but... but I'm willing to sacrifice a penny for the opportunity to get 10 or 20 cents more. So here we go, right? So now I've got 10 cents better on my partial because now it's below 55.70, and I still got it. I'm just checking the time regularly here. We've got just over 10 minutes. Still holding the rest of my size.
I'm long some VXX, just expecting this sell-off maybe to continue.
Oh, Brian's looking for the market to drop. I like it. Hear that, AMD?
Yeah.
Brian told you need to drop.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, Peter's short AMD, the market's dropping, I'm sure.
If only I had such massive powers. Excellent. See, I've got 15 cents better on this partial than I would otherwise. And it's still dropping, so that's good. Oh, look. Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh. Ugh. I'm going to take a partial here just because that quick bounce, often I've seen this thing whip back up. So I got my partial at 55.65, and that gave me, I said, 15 cents over where I would have taken it. So I'm happy with that. And let's see if we can hold the rest. 9.5 minutes. See if we can do this like I like to do sometimes. Hold it right to the very last second here. I'm a little worried about AMD though, being that, as you guys reminded me, that it does report right after hours. This thing could start to really whip around right into the close. So the last 2 minutes here could be a little hairier than I normally like. I don't know. Should I hold like a really small size just to see what happens? I am short. Not long yet. I don't know.
You never know what happens at the end.
I know.
Especially with AMD, it can really whipsaw around on you. Even though that 55.50 level looks good.
Sunkite, you were right. It's you know, at least puking a little bit here. So that's good. It's good for me anyways. Excellent. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. At 55.50 level is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Sold a little VXX here.
Taking another partial right here. 55.55. I like all the fives. It's good. Excellent. All right, what else has we got going on? Beyond really broke down. It went green to red as well. It did finally break VWAP. I guess with the market breaking out of that area, a lot of stuff's going with it. Beyond. What is where's our PFE at? Ugh, it went back down.
There we go. Yep, 37.87.
Yeah.
I was almost thinking about taking a third stab at it too.
Well, that would have worked.
Yeah.
You had the market this time with you, so. Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I try to avoid those thoughts. They just get me riled up.
You know what I always say here? Here.
I needed that saying today. Oh, yes, I needed that saying.
That's my expression there, guys. Take the damn trade. I have to remind myself of that all the time.
I'm going to have to get that laminated and make a poster of it. Put it right here on my wall.
I've got it printed here on my monitors, so just to remind myself.
Check out AMD. It just busted that level.
Wow. Whoa. I saw it at 55.50. I didn't see it down another 15 cents. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's why
I shouldn't have.
I know you were messing with photos and all that. Wanted to make sure you.
Thank you. Good. Well, good. It gave me an opportunity to hold here a little longer. I was partially aggressively figuring I was going into the close. I said AMD doesn't normally sort of sell off like this, so I'm going to take another partial here. Wow. Remember I was talking about I was partialing up at 55.80. So I wish I'd held on to more of that, but anyways. It's okay. I don't mind. Green is green, and it's a good practice to partial on the way down, just to make sure that you don't get you don't lose everything.
Yep. A lot of volume coming in at this level on the 15-minute chart.
Yeah. Well, Sun Kite 1.
That price.
SS Unkite 1. That's good. You called it. Nice puking, yeah.
I got out of the rest of my VIX trade. That was
Did we look to see if did it trade below 30 at all today?
Yeah, I actually, yeah. Does Norm get the shave? Let's see here. 30 and 54 cents is the low it hit.
Oh.
But that was right at the open, I think. When did it do that? Oh, no, because it counts pre-market, I guess, in this. So that was actually at 9... Yeah, 9 o'clock. So, yeah, it spiked down to that low. Really, throughout the day, it hasn't traded lower than 31.40 or so. All right, I'm going to take another partial here just in case this thing pulls back. And now I've got, okay, so I'm down to about 50 shares. I think I'm going to hold these, and I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to hold these till break even. Or I'm going to wait for earnings. We're going to see what happens. Just 50 shares, no big risk. If it goes up to my break even, I think I'll just get out. I'm probably going to see some slippage on that. We'll see.
Yep.
50, yeah, 56. If I see it, like if it starts arcing up towards 56, I'll have to be careful because it may go through it hard. But I've got 50 cents on it, right? So I can afford to give it a little room. Who knows? Maybe it'll drop. Give me a couple of bucks. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to
just
like Andrew. Sorry?
I know you're just holding a few shares. I would, if I was going to bet, which I think that's what I consider holding stocks through earnings is. But if I was going to bet, I'm going to say AMD is going to go higher.
Yeah, I will.
That's what I would. Well, if I was stepping up to a.
You may be right. We're going to find out together. I'm really nervous about this actually. I don't normally hold through earnings. Like I don't hold after hours. Let me call it up on the screen so you guys can watch along with me here. AMD.
The question is, what does the Magic 8 Ball say?
Yeah. Oh, gee, yeah. Magic 8 Ball. What should I ask though?
Will AMD be up after earnings into the into the aftermarket close?
Yeah, after the Magic 8 Ball, after the close, will AMD go up through 56 and stop me out? See, look, it's
What is
answering
your
again.
stop out?
It says, better not tell you now. That's the second... That's the second time today the Magic 8 Ball's given me that same answer. It refuses to answer me today. The Magic 8 Ball's, it's angry with me. I don't know what I've done.
I like that. That's funny.
See, Brian,
I'm
to
gonna
me,
take
that's
a
the
couple
worst
of-
possible. That's the worst possible answer because it implies that the Magic 8 Ball knows the answer, but it's not going to tell me.
It's holding back. It's holding out on you.
I know exactly.
I'm going to take a few API shares here.
Yeah.
Got a couple hundred API shares. Let's see. It's probably one of those ones that isn't going to gap. It'll probably because the energy stocks have been up. XLE's up again today.
Okay, guys, there's the bell. There is the
Ding,
bell.
ding, ding.
The bell's gone. What am I seeing? Not much happening on AMD right now. When is earnings? Is it right at? Is it right at
4:15.
4:50. Oh no, that's too long. I thought it was at 4:05. I thought it was 4:05 or something. Oh man, I could get stopped out before earnings even come out.
So, everybody have a great evening. I will see those that are coming for the class tonight. I'll see you in the classroom, but my wife has an online interview, so she needs a computer room here.
All right.
Which is a positive sign.
Well, maybe talk to her
again.
Yeah, maybe if you want to stay on, you can stream that too.
No, that'll be all right.
Yeah.
Just leave the camera on, and we can have some entertainment. We'll watch her go through her interview.
Yeah, we could ask questions too. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah.
That will always be good. Yes. What
actually
exactly Dutch what could possibly go wrong?
I've always loved those questions, Brian. In fact, I had somebody who I actually ended up hiring where I asked them that, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because it was an old typical question. And it was my favorite answer of all time because they stared me right in the eyes and they said, in your seat. And I said, you mean doing my job? They said, yeah, I want your job. And I'm like, all right, I like it. I hired him.
All right, I'm looking for some. I want to get the hell out of here.
It was good. I didn't mind the answer. In the context, it actually worked well because I wanted them to have some ambition. So
yeah,
you can have this job. I'm out of here.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. You're hired.
Good answer. Good answer.
There you go. Okay. All right, guys.
So have a great evening, everybody, and see you all tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern in the webinar room. I'm sure I'll have some great stories in this module from the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll look forward to that. I'll be there, Mike.
All right.
Yeah.
So
looking forward to it. Over and out from Dude's Coffee Shop here.
Have a good evening, Brian.
Thanks.
Peter.
Yeah. Later, Mike. So, Ryan, my entry was 56.05 on AMD. So let me just put my news down here a little bit. So my stop is break even, 56.05. So that's where I entered, right up here. So I figure I've got 50 cents or so to play with this. So far, it hasn't really pulled back much on me, so that's good. And Squawk, didn't seem to be active this afternoon. So I'm watching our newsfeed, our Benzinga newsfeed, for anybody on YouTube that doesn't normally get that. And we get, sort of active updates. So FireEye, I see, is reported. Looks like they beat top and bottom line. So I'm going to take note of some of these because I want to be able to trade them tomorrow. And every day I take a list of, stocks that I watch, and so that I can keep an eye on. It's a nice way I find to have some information, so we put it down for tomorrow. FireEye, I will watch that. I know that AMD reports. Google, can't imagine, but Oh, Google apparently, what? May not compare. Akamai beat. That might be worth watching too. AKAM. Hi, Caramba. Yeah. Thanks, Halim. Wow. Okay. I guess AMD people are getting advance notice of what's going on there. You're right. I wasn't watching. And I'm going to have to get out of it. Let's see. Oh, what? Ah, look at that. Oh my good lord. What is going on? Okay. Out. I'm getting out right here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did it. Oh, hold on. What was my fill? Yes. Yes. 55.98. Whew. That thing just whipped 50 cents in like a single gap between the bid and ask. I managed, I guess because I only had a half lot there, 50 shares. I managed to get filled. Oh, I thought I was going to have to take a loss on those. Whew. All right. Well, looks like Brian was correct. It definitely whipped right up. I don't think we even have earnings yet. Starbucks is out. Let's see what Starbucks looks like. Starbucks is down. They missed their estimate. I'm surprised their sales beat, but that must be on their last quarter. I'll put Starbucks on here. Keep an eye on it for tomorrow. Whew. Guys, that was nerve-wracking. That's why I don't like to trade through earnings. That was crazy whipsaw action on AMD. I just got lucky to manage to get that out at break even. I can't believe I lost focus and I didn't pay attention. After hours. Oh, look at this. Now it's dropping. Oh. Hiltzy, did you call this thing? You said it was going, what, right up to 58 and then down to 54? Yeah, well, you were close. It went to 56.80 almost. Not quite 58, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, earnings aren't even out yet for AMD, and it's already, people are sort of doing all sorts of crazy stuff. All right, Hans, you traded that as well. Good for you. Hopefully you were actually long if you went in late, because long was the easier trade. But wow. Look, I'm happy to be out now. Look, I'm glad that I held it. At least I had that experience. But at least I had the nice green trade beforehand to ride off of. Ryan, I normally use a stop, but I don't trust stops after hours. They don't usually work. So I do it manually as soon as we're after hours. I'd actually I automatically put in a stop at break even, but I took that off. I pulled that off when we were heading into the close, and then I was just manually managing it. Yeah, Hans, that's what we're seeing out of a lot of companies, right? Where the earnings are actually good. They have a decent earnings because it's mostly based on last quarter, which they're months delayed in reporting. And then their forward guidance is either they just refuse to provide it or they downgrade their guidance. So I was thinking that this quarter was going to be problematic, but it seems that the things are holding up. It looks like we're going to have to wait another couple of months for the next quarter's earnings. And that's when we'll start to see the bigger impact. But I mean, between now and then, who knows what the markets themselves will do, right? So let's get through this earnings season first, and then we and then we can figure it out. Yeah, the magic 8-ball. Jeremy, I would ask the magic 8-ball, but apparently it's angry with me. So look, I'm gonna give the nice magic 8-ball a break. I'm just going to set it aside because obviously it's refusing to answer. It's giving me the silent treatment. All right, what else we got? So Google reported Starbucks is out. Did I check Starbucks? I think I looked at it. Let's see. Let's look at the chart here. Starbucks. Yeah, whipsawing around here a little bit. Google reported. Whoops. Did I spell it right? Google's up. You'd expect Google to have a good quarter, although, well, ad revenue might have been pulled, but again, probably not affecting them yet. Ford looks like it's reported. Bigger than expected loss. Let's see what's going on with Ford here. Sales actually beat in the last quarter, but they earned on earning. They missed on earnings, sorry. That's interesting. All right. iRobot. iRobot apparently beat top and bottom line. Not a lot of volume happening after hours here, but I'm going to write it down on my list. I'm going to look at tomorrow. Now I really just want to see what AMD's numbers are to know what was happening. Still happy to be out of it, to be honest. Even though it's, let me just put AMD up here. I should have done this before. You can just see the top line here. I'd be in the green if I'd held on to it right now. But, I mean, it could jump $1 on me, right? And we saw that. Look, while we're waiting a couple of minutes for AMD to report, why don't we take a look at... Yeah, I'll be dead from a heart attack, right? Let's look at a couple of things we were watching today. And let me pull up some charts for the full day, and you can see a couple of things that we were watching. PFE, I actually had on my list. I was looking for it. I actually thought PFE was going to be a long because their numbers were good. But they dropped right off of the open, and I missed that drop. I was actually looking for a long, and I showed earlier to our traders that I got stopped out. I got the right idea, but too early. But it was a good long back to VWAP, so there was an opportunity in PFE. Even though the rest of the day, look at that. I know Mike was trading it towards the end of the day, and he didn't get really much of a move at all. So there was not much going on here towards the close. Smile Direct Club, SDC, also had earnings. I didn't like the move off the open, which I wasn't surprised. SDC really needs a strong catalyst to move. I was surprised to see it gapping up, but then it lost some of that, although it's still, well, no, actually, no, not at all. It closed up 24%, so it lost a little bit, but not much. It was still up quite a bit. So, but you can see the price action during the day was pretty flat, so not much going on there. 3M, and I'm just flipping back to earnings here. I want to make sure I keep an eye on things. I'll put it over here just so I can see when AMD finally hits. 3M, I was sort of, it had terrible pre-market action, which we often look for, but I put it on my list anyways. It was a little bit of a hard trade. I had an opportunity. I think I traded it actually off of the VWAP for a breakdown, and I panicked myself out, and I missed this drop. I actually was short. I was short like right in here, and I didn't hold it, and I missed this whole big drop down move. So that's just bad. That was bad trade management on my part. Hog, I know as Jennifer's mentioning it, her best trade of the day. A little choppy at the open, but you could have taken this for just a nice slow, steady grind up. I'm actually really surprised to see Harley Davidson up 15% in these market conditions, but there you go. Yeah, Nagaraj, you got cold feet on MMM. Well, maybe it wasn't just me then, but you know, to me, there's every opportunity and every reason to have held. I really should have, but it's just bad trade management, and I got out. I was keeping an eye on a couple of the Las Vegas casinos, MGM here, LVS. They didn't really do much, so you know, they did move off the open, but I wasn't keeping close enough eye to cut that move. And then once that was done, you can see not much for the rest of the day. So it was really a one-shot deal. UPS, I kept an eye on. I was hoping that I would get some moves, but really I never ended up trading it all day because it really just chopped sideways. Caterpillar is the second last one that I'll mention. Just a really hard trade. I don't think I traded Caterpillar. I can't even remember now. Hold on, let me check. No, I didn't end up taking a trade on Caterpillar. But as you can see, the price action here, just up and down and up and down. So really, really hard to have managed that. And last but not least, Southwest Airlines, which surprised me with some good moves on it. And Southwest, I did trade. I actually had a loser early, and then I made it back a little bit later. But I missed this big move. Unfortunately, middle of the day, I was on a bunch of phone calls and that, and I missed the opportunity. But LUV did have some movement. In fact, the entire airline industry, because it was moving in lockstep with American, United, and Delta, and they were all sort of moving much the same way. So that's the majority of the stuff we were watching on our list. There was a few others, but for the most part, that was them. AMD, I see, is right at 56 here, right near my break even. And we should now see reporting any minute here. Juniper Networks is out. Accuray withdraws its guidance. I'll just bring this over here. You can sort of see the news as it's coming up here. Accuray beat estimates. Wow. Array. I think that's a lower float. I'm going to write it down here so I have it for tomorrow, but ARAY beat their estimates but pulls guidance. And then Juniper, not often a great trade, but I'll write it down here anyways. Last one I'm waiting for. I'm just looking for the numbers on AMD. Make sure I didn't miss them. AMD. Come on, AMD. Nothing yet. Well, for those of you on YouTube that are sticking with us, I appreciate it. Louis, I'll just go to some questions I see here on YouTube. Tobias, you asked me to look at Google's chart. I did call it up, I think, really briefly. Google's going pretty... It went up here nicely. But, oh my goodness, look at that candle. A $50 candle on Google I just saw appear. Did you see that? Flash down here, I saw the candle fill, and then it pulled right back up. That's a good reason not to trade Google. Anyways, it's crazy. Louis, I mean, I did trade aftermarket here on AMD. Well, sort of. I held it for a bit, and then it got too crazy, frankly, and I got nervous, and I jumped out at my break-even since I was already in it, in a profitable position. I very rarely trade earnings, though. Almost never. In fact, unless just because I was in the trade and already green, that's the only reason why I just held some shares to see what was happening. So that's about it. Hopefully you guys are liking the show. If so, I'd really appreciate you hit the thumbs up. Give us a like. That always helps. And check out the pre-market show if you don't. I imagine most of you do, but if you're checking out if you do, or if you haven't, I should say, feel free to go at 8:30 right back in this channel. You can see the pre-market show with Carlos and Norm. It's always a good opportunity to see what they're thinking is moving for the day, a little analysis of the markets, and really get you set up for the trading day. If you want to trade with us, we always welcome everybody into the trading room. We'd love to see you in the trading room trading with us. If you're so inclined, then please, you can take advantage of one of our opportunities, our discount codes, Premarket 24 for a 1-week membership for only $24. Just try us out. If you're ready to commit, Earth Day, I'm surprised it's still up there. You can still use it for another couple of days to get 40% off our lifetime membership. So There you go. There you go. And I am still just waiting on AMD. Tell me, guys, have I missed it? Have I missed AMD? Anyone have a faster news service? There's our YouTube channel, Rick. Yeah, I don't think I've missed it. I haven't seen it. I'm only going to give it another 30 seconds here. If it doesn't come out by 4:20, I'm calling it a day. I mean, I'm not in the trade anymore, so... $4.20. It's not that I have something specific to do at 4:20, Mac. Don't want to give you that impression. What the? That's nice, Mac. I like that. Look at that. That is not meth. All right. Well, it hasn't. AMD hasn't come out. They're late. I'm not going to stick around. Thank you for joining us, guys. I really appreciate it. We'll call it a day. We'll see you back here for the pre-market show. If you're a member, I open the room at 7:30 every morning, and I will do that again tomorrow morning. And the live pre-market show is at 8:30. Take care, everyone. We will see you on the next trading day, and I'll be back here at 3:30 as always. Take care, everyone.